Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Web3 Daily. Today, the crypto market feels a little nuanced, but overall, it's definitely showing signs of a slow recovery from the cautious sentiment we've seen recently. Let's start with Bitcoin. Over the past 24 hours, its performance has been what I'd call an experienced boxer holding his ground. It's been trading sideways at a critical level, not really pushing higher, but also not getting knocked down. For me, a crucial signal behind this is the turnaround in spot Bitcoin ETF inflows. After 6 consecutive days of net outflows, we're finally seeing money flow back in, and a significant amount of it. What does this tell us? It suggests that the big players, the institutions, are starting to buy the dip at current prices. That's a pretty big deal. Meanwhile, Ethereum hasn't been standing still. While Bitcoin was consolidating, Ethereum carved out its own path. It's up over 4% in the last 24 hours. And what's even more surprising is that in just the past 2 days, over 570 million has poured into Ethereum, with a single day accounting for 440 million of that. This kind of capital rotation from Bitcoin to Ethereum looks to me like a clear sign that market sentiment is improving and that funds are actively searching for the next potential opportunities. Alright, so after talking about the market, let's jump into the hottest topic being discussed across the entire Web3 space today. And honestly, it caught me completely by surprise. I'm talking about the Sandbox, a project that was once at the forefront of the metaverse, which just announced its founders are stepping down. But what's even more shocking is that they are laying off 50% of their staff, literally half the team. But the story doesn't end there. The team is making a complete 180-degree strategic pivot. They're no longer focused on building that grand virtual world. Instead, they're shifting to become a memecoin launchpad on the Base network. To me, this is a very telling sign. The Sandbox token, SAND, hasn't performed well for a long time, and market excitement around the metaverse narrative has clearly cooled. Now, the former metaverse giant is pivoting to meme coins? I see this as a very realistic, if not a bit desperate, decision. It's a move that seems to say that the current market, rather than focusing on grand visions and the long-term narratives, prioritizes short-term hype, attention, and the rapid capital flow. Is this the end of the metaverse narrative, or has the Sandbox just found a new way to survive and thrive in this market? That's a question for the entire industry and for every investor to ponder. Alright, now that we've covered the big story of the day, let's quickly go over some of the other major industry news. I believe these stories will have a profound impact on the future of Web3. First up, a major move coming from the US government. The US Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick recently announced plans to publish key US economic data like GDP on the blockchain. When I first heard this, I was pretty impressed. Think about it, a nation's vital economic data published directly by the government using blockchain technology. This is the highest level of endorsement for blockchain's transparency, immutability, and efficiency. This news also comes amid the Trump administration's second term, where they are pushing a series of pro-crypto policies. And apparently, it's a move being championed by top White House crypto advisor David Sachs. This isn't just a minor announcement, it's a national-level endorsement of blockchain. It's going to massively boost the credibility of our entire industry and open the door for blockchain to be used in government services. For me, the significance of this goes beyond simple price action. It's fundamentally changing how blockchain is perceived and legitimized in society. Now for our second piece of news, and I think this one is a huge positive for the entire Bitcoin narrative. A German-listed company, Nakiki SE, is currently evaluating a plan to issue corporate bonds with one specific goal: to raise capital for a strategic Bitcoin investment. Does that sound familiar? It should. Their goal is to become the first publicly listed German company to announce a pure Bitcoin treasury strategy. This is essentially the MicroStrategy playbook we've all come to know. Back in the day, MicroStrategy, led by Michael Saylor, kicked off a whole wave of companies, adding massive amounts of Bitcoin to their balance sheets. Now, this model is taking hold in a major European economy, and in Germany, no less a country known for its financial prudence. The significance here can't be overstated. It shows that Bitcoin, as a hedge against inflation and a credible corporate asset, is gaining acceptance among traditional businesses on a global scale. This isn't just a game American companies are playing anymore. Bitcoin is slowly becoming a legitimate and important line item on corporate balance sheets worldwide. And to me, that forms a very solid foundation for Bitcoin's long-term growth. Now, Let's shift our focus to Asia, specifically Hong Kong, because the moves they're making are definitely worth paying attention to. EDA Group, a company listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, just announced a partnership with UTCPAY to launch a new stablecoin payment solution. To me, the most important part of this news isn't just the partnership itself, but the timing. This solution is being launched right after Hong Kong's new stablecoin regulatory regime, their Sandbox framework, went into effect. What this shows is that the Hong Kong government isn't just talking about embracing crypto, they're actively implementing policies and creating a clear path for real-world applications. This doesn't just clear the way for EDA Group and UTCPAY, it sends a powerful signal to Web3 companies all over the world. Hong Kong is providing a clear regulated framework where stablecoin businesses can legally operate. At a time when many countries are still hesitant or even hostile towards crypto, this is a bold and smart move. Hong Kong is leveraging its status as a financial hub to secure its place in the new world of Web3. For our fourth piece of news, I think this is a very positive signal for the current market. It proves that even when things aren't at their craziest, great projects can still attract serious capital. We just saw a decentralized AI verification protocol called Swarm Network complete a 13 million funding round. What's particularly interesting is how they raised the money. 10 million of it came from a public sale of NFT agent licenses on the Sui network, while the remaining 3 million was a strategic investment from backers that included Sui itself. This tells me two things. First, the project has incredibly strong community. Support a 10 million public sale is a huge accomplishment. Second, major blockchains like Sui are actively investing in and backing the most promising projects within their own ecosystems, especially those at the intersection of Web3 and AI. In my opinion, this funding round isn't just a win for Swarm Network, it's a win for the entire industry. It reminds us that truly valuable and innovative projects will always find the capital they need. At the crossroads of Web3 and AI, two of the hottest sectors right now, we're seeing real money flowing into applications with genuine potential, not just empty promises. Remember that positive market signal we talked about at the top of the show? Well, we have a more concrete update on that key data point from the spot Bitcoin ETFs, and I think this will give you even more confidence in the market. According to the latest reports, spot Bitcoin ETFs recorded over 250 million in net inflows over the past 2 days. That number might not sound massive on its own, but the meaning behind it is huge. You have to remember, before this, Bitcoin spot ETFs had been experiencing a streak of 6 consecutive days of net outflows. This means we're finally seeing a critical trend reversal. This isn't just a simple change in numbers, it represents the return of big institutional money to the market. After a period of selling and watching from the sidelines, they're now back. Their return acts like a strong floor, providing solid support for Bitcoin's current price. It tells us that, in the eyes of these professional investors, Bitcoin's current price is a value zone worth entering and holding for the long term. Their actions are a shot in the arm for the entire market, giving retail investors more confidence. Alright, for our final piece of news today, we're heading back to the US. I think this story might be the most significant of all, as it concerns the future of our entire industry's regulatory status in the States. We've been watching the slow progress of crypto legislation in the US for a while. The latest update is that the House has passed its Crypto Clarity Act, while the Senate Banking Committee has released its own discussion draft, the Responsible Financial Innovation Act of 2025. While the two sides are still working to find common ground, a key difference is that the Senate bill proposes a new category for ancillary assets, which aims to provide a clear regulatory path for those crypto assets that don't quite fit the definition of a security. We know that Senator Lummis has been a huge proponent of this, and her goal is to get a bill to the president's desk by the end of the year. This isn't just talk. It shows that both parties in Congress are seriously working on crypto legislation. If a clear, nationwide regulatory framework is finally established, it would be the single biggest catalyst for our entire industry. It would remove uncertainty for more institutional investors and provide a stable foundation for the industry's long-term growth. Alright, that's it for today's Web3 Daily. If you found this helpful, please remember to hit the like button to show your support. Every day, we are working to bring you the most critical and wealth-relevant news from the Web3 world. We hope that by organizing this curated information, we can help you make more rational and informed decisions on your Web3 investment journey. Additionally, I've put exclusive registration links for all the major exchanges in the comments section. These are high rebate offers we've secured specifically for our fans, and we hope they'll help you save some costs along the way. Let's stay rational, move steadily forward, and get rich slowly together in the world of Web3. May all of your crypto assets grow steadily. We'll see you tomorrow.